Welcome back to Ellough Park in Suffolk. It's the Easykart Juniors up next. Toby Goodman and Tyrone Stansfield on the front row of the grid, with Will Martin and Scott Huntley on the second, Harry Graham and Morgan Wroot side by side, with Algieri, Rainbow, Siddle and Cole rounding up the top 10. Keep an eye on Tom Massarella and Charlotte Fox on the sixth row. Harry Barlow in the mid-pack should be worth a watch as well. Lots of drivers wanting to make their way through in the damp conditions, and the rain is still around the circuit. Green lights, away we go. Good charge to the first corner. Whoa, Goodman shutting the door firmly on Stansfield, and there's contact. The 66 goes into the back of Jamie Davison. That is the 66 of Jack Rigg. So unfortunately he missed his braking point, and Davison had no option but to spin around. Whoa, a bit of a slip up there from Cole in the mid-pack as they go down to the hairpin for the first time. Oh, Massarella gets caught out. I think he missed his braking point as well and had no option but to nerf the back of the kart in front, and he's now managed to get going again, but he's got a lot of work to do now as the field continues its way, tiptoes round the first lap. Back on board with Morgan Wroot. That is Matt Rainbow in front of us. Through the S's. Tricky part of the course this. He's having a look at Rainbow up the inside. Can he get his way through? The next man to go for, if he can, is Scott Huntley, and he is there, is he? Oh, it's very difficult. He has just managed to shut the door, so beautiful move there. Still a lot of rain in the air. It's not particularly heavy yet, but it is threatening to get that way. Goodman's your leader. Will Martin in second place, though, and the battle is raging for that second position. Up the inside, that's a possible move coming from Harry Graham. Hasn't quite been able to get the job done yet, but he's definitely threatening it at the moment. Seb Algieri is in there in fourth position as well, looking very strong. Graham has a look up the inside. Oh, bit of a wobble from Martin. He almost lost second place. Graham now has to slide into position to defend from Algieri, and the 80 in there as well. Ty Stansfield, having lost out big time at the start, is now having to play catch up. Back on board with Wroot. That's Scott Huntley in front of us. He's already dealt with Rainbow. Now can he deal with Huntley? Through the S's, down the short straight. Up to the braking zone. He seems to like this overtaking move. Huntley's not going to make it easy for him. No, indeed, he shuts the door very firmly. You're not getting through there, Morgan, my friend. This is my corner, and I'm going to make sure it stays that way. Algieri breaks loose, though, into fourth position, trying to chase down Martin and Graham. Has a big lunge to the inside line. That was very interesting from Algieri, and that's Rainbow back through. Oh, and the floodgates have opened. There goes Barlow as well. So Morgan Wroot losing 2 places at the first corner there. They tuck through this big double apex, turns 2 and 3. Up to the hairpin here. Tricky, tricky. Really slippery in these conditions, and they have to tiptoe their way around each other. Tyrone Stansfield losing the place there to the 6 of Scott Huntley. So really, really good battle shaping up for 5th position behind these 3 as well. Turn 7 and 8, the S's, the chicane, whatever you want to call it. Technically, I'm wrong on both counts. It's actually a hairpin into a quick left flick. Up the inside, plenty of curb for Wroot, and that's how you get through. Nice overtake there. And you can see on the camera lens, it is getting wetter. So the drizzle is really starting to cause an issue for the drivers out there, as Algieri is going for glory here to try and make the move on Graham. He's certainly turning up the heat. In third position, there we go. Look at the rain. It is really coming down now. So the drivers will have found it tough before. They'll find it even tougher now. There is a lot of standing water, and that is the 93 that's gone around. What a spin there for Ben Gartside. He manages to get the kart going again, but he's lost 2, maybe 3 places in total there. It is 3. Massarella, Checkley and Rigg all got by. Massarella and Rigg, of course, have already had spins of their own, and they're recovering. But the rain getting very heavy now around the Ellough Park circuit. And this is one of those very tough circuits to get right in the rain, as Rainbow very nearly proves there. He almost goes straight into the barriers on the far side of that chicane, trying to chase down Tyrone Stansfield. Stansfield's not having a great day at the office in this final race, is he? Really tricky race conditions, of course, and the rain is getting heavier. You can see that at various parts of the circuit, especially here on the home straight. You can actually see the rain coming down. Seb Algieri on the podium at round 2, of course. There's his information. And here he is, now through past Graham, into third position, squabbling with Martin. And look at the standing water on the outside of turn 3 there. Really struggling now for grip. This is about tactics. When do you make the overtaking move? How smoothly do you drive to build up to it? Do you push? Do you threaten the opposition, as Algieri almost got wrong there? Or do you wait for an opportunity to present itself? It's a very difficult game to play, this one. There are drivers in the wet here who are very, very strong, and there are others who kind of have to let the race come to them as Wroot goes up the inside of Rainbow. Is he going to get past Stansfield in the same breath? He is! No, not quite! Absolutely incredible! They go left and right to stop the move from happening. That was a proper Spa 2000 move, wasn't it? Hakkinen and Schumacher going around the outside of Zonta in F1. Well, we just got that in karting. Not quite as fast, of course, but that will still be a bit of a wake-up call for Morgan Wroot. Bit of a gesture there from the 74. Morgan Cole, I wonder if he was just trying to get some water off his visor there. It is getting heavier, the rain. It's tricky conditions. It's Ellough Park, which is a very technical, challenging circuit. A lot of club racers love coming here because you get some amazing data. You also get some brilliant racecraft out of it. Up through the left-hander, usually a fast sweeping corner, but as Rainbow proves, it's difficult to get it right in the wet. He almost lost the place there to Morgan Wroot. Meanwhile, in the battle for 4th position, Graham is struggling, and right on his tail is Scott Huntley, trying to make the move into P4. Then comes Stansfield, then Rainbow, then Morgan Wroot, our cameraman. Although, the way the rain keeps going, he might not be able to give us some decent pictures by the end of this race. Look at the gap Goodman has got on Will Martin. It is over the length of the start-finish straight. I tell you what, no one's going to win this race unless their name's Toby Goodman, are they? Incredible. Now, the rain getting heavier, you can see that. Huntley again, trying to get the move done on Graham as they go through that tricky double apex, turn 2 and 3. Oh, that was so close for the number 5 there. Matt Rainbow very nearly ending his race in the tyre barrier, and if he'd have hit that at that angle, that really would have bent the rear axle. That would have been game over. So he was very lucky indeed to get out of that one. Power Slide City, turn 3, in through 7 and 8. A couple of drivers getting a little bit wayward, but able to collect it together at low speed. Huntley again has a look at Graham. You can't just banzai up the inside. You have to calculate the move, because in these conditions, you're not going to have the same braking distance, you're not going to have the same traction, and you're definitely not going to have the same throttle point as you normally would. So you've got to be so careful when you time an overtaking move. You have to know it's going to work rather than guess. That's why that's a great move there from Rainbow. He managed to get the move on Stansfield, but Stansfield's resisting. He's going to try and get it back into turn 2. He gets there. Rainbow's going to get back to the inside and get the move done again at turn 3. Nice move from Rainbow. So that was a double overtake, 1 at 1. He knew he was going to lose the place at turn 2. Don't panic, get it sorted and get back on the inside for turn 3. And then have the nerve to tell the boys behind you, come on, we can get those guys in front if we work together. So up again through the right-hander. Here's an opportunity for Huntley. No, again, see, he's being very wise there. He could have just gone gung-ho into the S's, but that's not the way to do it. That could end your race if you don't get it right. Now he's going to have another look. Graham's going to get nervous. Wroot's going to have a try at Stansfield, and he runs deep. You can see which moves work and which ones don't. Huntley is taking his time. He knows he can't just go for it. He has to be calculated here. It's a long race. There's still a long way to go. He's got to time this perfectly. He can't just hope it's going to happen. Bit of a wobble there from your man in what was 3rd position, still is actually, Algieri. I thought he lost the place to Graham. He didn't. He managed just to save it, but that's how tricky it is. Algieri struggling in 3rd place there, and that has meant that Will Martin has disappeared himself. So Goodman's gone about 3 miles up the road. Then it's Martin, and then this fantastic squabble for 3rd position between, I make it 6 karts now. Just joining the back of that group, Morgan Wroot. He dropped back a little bit and is now catching up to it once more. So it's Algieri, Graham, then it is Huntley, Rainbow, Wroot, and at the back, Stansfield, then Wroot. Oh, side by side, that was close as Huntley nearly loses the place to Rainbow. Great little battle, but again, Rainbow has to hang back through turn 11 to complete the lap, and down the straight, Martin enjoying himself in 2nd place. Algieri, Graham, Huntley, Rainbow, Stansfield, and Wroot, with number 4, Harry Barlow, unable to stay with them. That is a surprise. I thought Harry Barlow would be right on the back of this group like a bad habit. And another superb move there from Rainbow. Beautifully timed. He gave Huntley every opportunity to get out of it, and he made the move stick. Beautifully done there from Rainbow. He is really working this kart nicely in these conditions. And that's what this is all about. So that puts him into 5th position now, behind Graham and behind Algieri. Still, they struggle through the little S's there, through the hairpin and then through the left flick. It is a square left, so you've got to get it standing absolutely beautifully. Is he going to get both of them here? Rainbow tries to go for both. Graham's back to the inside. Algieri's going to get caught out. Rainbow gets past both of them. Beautiful move into third position. That is the overtake of the race. Fantastic work from Rainbow. And now Graham sideways. Algieri goes back to the inside. And Graham's going to get shut out on the outside. Here comes Huntley to the inside now, trying to go for fifth position. He can't get that done. And Morgan Wroot gets a dirty camera full of spray. Absolutely spectacular. 4 minutes still to go in this race, just under, and the race for third position just got electric. But up into that third position, Matt Rainbow timing it to perfection, and look, he's getting away already. So it's no longer a third place squabble, it's a fourth place brawl, and Graham nudges Huntley, gets him wide, but he realises his mistake. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to do that. I'll let you back through. Good driving there from Graham. He realised his mistake instantly, and that is great sportsmanlike conduct. Very good in the Easykart UK paddock, and we see that all the time as Wroot and Stansfield swap positions. First Wroot gets the inside, then Stansfield gets the undercut. Brilliant battling. That's what I love about the Easykart UK system. It's hard, but it's also fair. You've got to give that to the drivers in this paddock. They race because they want to, they love it, and they are great disciplined drivers out there. Fantastic stuff. So Graham has to have another opportunity to go for Huntley. He's going to need to spend a little bit of time building up to it, but he's running out of time. There's only 3 minutes on the clock, and that's only going to be good enough for another 3-4 laps at best in these conditions. So he's going to have to really find something special. Through the left, through the right. Not too much grass on the outside. Interestingly, Huntley was over the white line and one wheel was on the grass there. You must feel that that's going to give him a little bit better grip. Either that or it was a genuine mistake. Stansfield, though, starting to step up the attack to Graham. And Wroot is still just watching there at the back of the queue, hoping something will present itself to him. There goes Rainbow, there goes Algieri, and there goes Huntley. They've all managed to get a gap. Unfortunately, it is the 79, really, Harry Graham, that's got the raw end of the deal here. He was in third for a long time, don't forget. And now it's all fallen apart. I wonder if the mass defending he's been on has worn out the tyres. Well, Massarella has now caught up to the back of Harry Barlow, I just spotted there. So good work from Massarella in these conditions, and Morgan Cole in the 74 isn't too far away either. So good battles from those two to work their way up. Now Algieri, I wonder if he made a mistake there through the left-hand hairpin turn 4, because he's lost a lot of ground into 6, and already he's got Huntley, Stansfield and the rest right on his tail. Huntley, Graham, Stansfield trying to chase him down. Wroot is dropping back a little bit now. I wonder if he's not got as much grip as he had before. Just over a minute and a half left. Bit of a wobble through turn 9 into 10, the left-hander. Get the exit just right and you'll get good acceleration through 11. It's flat out even in the rain, but you've got to be so much more careful. Into turn 1 again. A minute and a quarter on the clock, and there is the advantage that Matt Rainbow has made up in these conditions. He's just dropped the rest of the field. Algieri is having to hang on for dear life to 4th position here. Morgan Wroot, apparently there is a problem for Morgan Wroot, the 104. That is a shame. Our cameraman may be about to fall by the waysides here. Yep, he's dropping back rapidly. That is a real shame. He was right in the mix of the battle and could even have got a 3rd place himself here. So Algieri and Huntley we're watching now as they scrap over 4th position. Through the right, through the left, desperately trying to keep up with Rainbow. That's not happening in a month of Sundays. Certainly not today. Graham and Stansfield having their scrap. Let's look back. Well, I thought we were going to get a look back at Barlow and Massarella. Massarella's in front. Massarella's managed to make the move on Harry Barlow. What a comeback this is from Tom Massarella. Absolutely brilliant. He spun out earlier, don't forget, on the first lap. He would have been in the top 6 with these guys. And now, not only has he got past Harry Barlow and left him for dead, let's just remind ourselves, Harry Barlow he's got past there, and now he's chasing after the top 6. So Massarella, he's going to run out of time. This is the penultimate lap, we think. Looking at the time there is left. Well, it depends on how far Goodman is in front. Who's that's pulled off? That's Thomas Davison who's pulled off. So he was one of the drivers who got into the mix earlier with Rig, of course. And that means his race is over before it's waved the checkered flag. We are on the final lap about to start. There is Davison. He's absolutely fuming. I don't blame him. He's had a miserable race, unfortunately, and not of his own making. Whoa, it's getting tough between Algieri and Huntley now. Up to the hairpin. Very close. Hold that inside line, Seb. He's going to be all over you. And through the flat-out turn 11 as they go into the final lap. Algieri hanging on to 4th place for dear life. Huntley now knows it's now or never, sunshine. Get it done. But crucially, yellow flags where Davison pulled off, so they're not going to be able to make the overtake into 2 or into 3. Graham trying to hang on in front of Stansfield as well, so 4th position and 6th position could still change before the end. That is Morgan Wroot. His race is ending. I think he's going to try and bring it home to the finish if he possibly can. Championship points he's got to be considering, of course. Zach Parkinson and Jamie Davison go into their last lap with a battle, but look back, there's our winner, Toby Goodman. He's been absolutely dominant. We've barely seen him in the race. But that's what happens when you give a Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton style domination at the front. Nobody ever sees you. Great win for Goodman. Meanwhile, we look back, still great racing for 4th and 6th position. There's Martin coming home in 2nd place. Good drive from him. 3rd position. Across the line, it is going to be Rainbow. Great drive from Rainbow there. Across the line too. Algieri's beaten Huntley over the line, and Stansfield's pipped Graham on the very last lap. He's beaten him, and Massarella's caught right up to the back. So if that race went 5 minutes longer, well, who knows who could have finished in 4th place. Algieri from Huntley, Stansfield, Graham, Massarella, with Barlow and Cole rounding out the top 10. But absolutely nobody saw which way Toby Goodman went. That's a dominant victory for the championship leader at the right time of the season. Who can catch him? Nobody.
How'd you feel?
Absolutely amazing. Yesterday we were about 2/10 off. We made a couple of adjustments this morning and they were just absolutely amazing. So we managed to qualify 3rd, and then from there we managed to get up to 1st in the heat. Just kept my head down in the final. Just kept it smooth and managed to walk away with it as well. I mean, amazing job by the mechanic. Really, really good setup for the whole weekend. And best wishes to Connor in hospital because it was pretty big.
That's really well said. Thank you for those best wishes to Connor. We all wish him well as well. I think we've seen a bit of a masterclass here. You in wet weather conditions. I mean, have you liked the wet with all your racing career?
Well, I used to race corporate karts, and obviously if it was wet, it was wet and you were on slick. So I think I've learned the kind of art of wet racing, and then I come into these and you have wet tyres, so it makes it a lot easier. And I think I've kind of learned that driving style off the wet, and it did definitely help me this race, just to keep it smooth and keep my head down.
Absolutely, it certainly did pay off, and you just showed us there, so well done. So I think you'll probably be wishing, now that you've seen that you are, let's say, a good second or so quicker than the rest of the grid there in these sort of conditions, you're probably looking for these conditions at Glanny Gores, are you?
Well, I remember last year I wasn't too bad at Glanny. I do quite like it, so yeah, I guess, but we'll just see how it goes.
Championship points, Toby Goodman still stretching out that advantage. He'll be back for more at Glenagorse Park. Hopefully so too will Connor Brown after his incident earlier on. Get well soon, Connor. Best wishes from everybody at Easykart UK. Next up though, it's Senior Lights.